was working on cars at the time, and this guy was like, you know, we had a conversation after I worked on this car. He's like, "Yeah, you're pretty smart, man. You going to school for something?" I said, "Nah, not right now. My girl's going to school." He said, "Man, fuck her." Right? I said, "What? Like, you talking about my girl like that?" He said, "Yeah, fuck her."
Yeah, let's go ahead and rock the video and see what Kevin has to say.
All right.
I would tell more young men to do this. Keep your head down and eat crap until you're 30. Get out there, fail, try some things. Spend about 5 to 10% of your time dating, all that other kind of stuff. I don't expect you to be a monk. Relationships, love and all that stuff, it may not sound nice, will come later. You really need to know if you can work with this person long term, because we're messy, complex people, and we have to have a higher tolerance for failure. Not that men don't want to be with women, they just don't want to lose it all. I would tell more young men to do.
There we go.
Yeah. So what do you think about
that? I wish I would have known that, or had that mindset in my 20s instead of living the way I was living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
How were you living?
Man, go back to us. So I was like, when I was in my 20s, I was with a woman, right? We was dating seriously. And this, cause what he said is kind of like on piggyback what I was told. I was working on cars at the time. Mm-hmm. And this guy was like, you know, we had a conversation after I worked on this car. He's like, "Yeah, you're pretty smart, man. You going to school for something?" I said, "Nah, not right now. My girl's going to school." He said, "Man, fuck her." Right? I said, "What? Like, you talking about my girl like that?" He said, "Yeah, fuck her." And I said, "Why you say that for?" He said, "Because you're not going to be with her long term. And it's better for you to work on yourself, to be better for yourself, instead of waiting for her to get her shit together." And he said, I'm like, "Man, this guy bugging, man. This old white dude don't know what he's talking about." But it's kind of like the same thing Kevin Samuel just said, like, build yourself up first before you want to take on somebody. And I wish I would have did that long term. I wish I would have did that. And every time I think about that, it's so many different ways I could have built myself up. Now, fast forward to me being in my early 30s. I'm in the car industry, like, you know, electronics with the car. So, like, anything you could think of that could be wired into a car, I could probably figure out a way to wire into it. I know how to hot wire a car if I need to, if I'm in the jam.
You're from New York, of course. Of course.
I know how to.
You either rap, play ball, or go ahead.
Hot wire cars. So I was like, all right, I need to get out this industry. I see that it's dying. I see that there's no money to be made. I'm in my young 30s. I don't want to live in this industry like this no more. I see that the people that is older, like in their 50s in the industry, they kind of like floating around lost because this is the only trade they really know. And it's like, I guess they feel like it's too late for them to learn. So back, you know, I was riding bicycles back then, and I was with my boy Gazi. Shout out to Gazi. And I was like, "Yo, you work from home. What do you do working from home?" And he said he does something with, like, what's it called? Where you help people out over the internet, over the phone?
That, like the help desk?
Not help. Tech support. He said he does tech support.
Okay. At the help desk.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, all right, that's cool. You do tech support. But then he was like, if you want to get into the industry of working on like computers and stuff like that, you could take this course out in Virginia. I'm like, okay. Like, I had some time, I had some extra money. Like, you know, me being from New York, I was working off the books and I was getting unemployment. You know how you always scamming in New York. So I had that going for myself. And I was like, all right, I got some extra play money and I'm able to take this course. But when I took that course, at the time, my ex-fiance was mad about me taking that course. And she was like, "Why are you doing this for?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to better myself." And that goes back to that guy that was telling me, "Yo, fuck her, do what you gotta do." Yeah. And I thought about that guy and I said, I ain't really said like verbally, "Fuck her, I'm doing what I gotta do," but the motion I made was, "Fuck her, I'm gonna do what I have to do."
Yeah.
And now, lo and behold, I'm here in Atlanta, and what I learned in that course in Virginia and what I learned from doing cars, I'm able to find a job that I could merge the two.
Yeah.
With my automotive knowledge and now my technology knowledge, for me to find a job that I can merge it to. And I got a great job, paying well, you know what I'm saying? I work from home, I get to travel with the job, and I got a lot of great benefits with the job. I'm like, damn, if I would have not listened to what that guy said again, I don't know where I want to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I have somewhat of a similar story with that because I kind of got my niche a little bit early, but I think I was telling you and Lex one time how many jobs I have, and you were like, "Damn, Kofa, another like."
No, she was saying that because I had a lot of jobs too.
Yeah, I was just going, but that's what she was saying. She was like, "Damn, I thought he had a lot of jobs." I was like, and then I did, and after that, yeah, I tell people all the time I done lived the whole Forrest Gump lifestyle, like shrimp boat captain, military, all that stuff. So, and now I'm here on YouTube running my own business, but I did similar. I was working on bank trucks. That didn't work out. The chick I was with at the time, because I started off kind of early because I did have a daughter when I was 21, 22.
Me too.
She was born in January. I was still 21. February, I turned 22. So I had her like 8 months before I graduated college. So I came out with this degree thinking, okay, the world is mine. The stuff that they pushed on us about going to school, getting better. So that was kind of my pushback against some of what Ebony K. Williams was saying. But anyways, I'm gonna let it die, Mo. But I came out with this degree. I didn't have any experience. So that goes to what Kevin was saying. You're gonna have to work, man, to get the experience, because I didn't get great jobs. I ended up working for the state of Georgia. That lasted a little bit. I left there. And then I was kind of backtracking. I ended up working at the mall. I was like an assistant store manager to those that may remember Underground Station. I haven't seen one in a while, a shoe store. I was on some Al Bundy shit.
Yeah.
I was selling shoes. That I did that for like maybe 6, 8 months. That's when I got with the major company at the time. It was Loomis Fargo.
Okay.
I was working bank trucks. I liked it. But then it got, mundane. It was like, where's the upward mobility?
Yeah.
So I ended up leaving there, moving back to Montgomery, trying to take care of my daughter. Then her mom moved. This goes back to what Kevin said. Stop focusing on the women so much is basically what he was saying. You're going to have to put in the work. So that's when I joined the Army, because they moved out. The whole reason I moved back to Alabama was to be with my daughter. Her mom brought her up here to Atlanta. I was like, well, what the hell? Now I'm sitting here in Montgomery, Alabama. Anybody that knows, there's nothing really for real going on there. So I joined the Army. Came back home after basic training, my training and all that, and then I moved to Atlanta. And that's when things started to progress. I was able to get into the federal government system, did active duty for like 2 years, because I'm a reservist, so I was able to get on active duty orders. So that's why anybody listening like, oh, there's no such thing as 2 years of active duty, because usually the contracts are 3 to 4 years. I know what I'm talking about. But I was a reservist, so I did 2 years active duty, ended up bridging off of that into the federal government as a civilian, the job I do now. And just skilling, again, like I talk about, skilling and scaling up, learning different things and just progressing upward. And again, man, the uphill is the way. You're going forward and up at the same time. That's why it looks so hard. But again, manhood made easy. The hard way is the way.
Yeah.
Lose the term loosely, because you're going forward and you're going up. And now I'm almost at the point where I'm at the top of that mountain. I can plant my flag, as I said a couple of days ago, and I got a whole different view of things. So when you put in that work, like Kevin was saying, the 60 hours a week, the just keeping your head down, taking all this bullshit, because you are, all intents and purposes, you're still a fucking child.
Yeah.
I broke this down the other day on my live. The first 18 years of your life belong to your parents, the school. Then the next 18 years, by that time passes, you're in your mid-30s. You've made your mistakes as an adult in your 20s when you don't know shit. Spend the first latter part of your 20s, early part of your 30s correcting those mistakes. Like you said, you went back to that when you were trying to better yourself. You went back to that conversation you had with that white dude years ago. It was like, oh no, this is the path I'm gonna stay on this time. So by the time you hit that spot, man, you are not behind, bro. You're not. You're on time. You're really not gonna start hitting your stride, hitting it until you're 35. You're not gonna get in a flow until you're probably in your mid-40s. I think men's maximum earning potential is at like 55.